All right. Green-black Citadel, green-black Scapeshift, green-black Dread Presence Dryad, however you want to approach it. This deck's got a few different things going on. The first is that we have Dread Presence plus Scapeshift as a 2-card combo kill. So Dread Presence says whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you can either draw a card and lose a life or deal 2 damage to something. So Dread Presence plus Scapeshift with a plethora of swamps in our deck gives us a build our own Valakut the Molten Pinnacle here in Historic. Dryad of the Ilysian Grove kind of puts Dread Presence into overdrive. Puts Dread Presence into overdrive with all of our lands coming right into play. And then Bolas' Citadel is a way for us to generate a lot of card advantage and value in the mid to late game to help us find our combo pieces more consistently. And then you also note I've got a Miser Field of the Dead in here because while this isn't our primary game plan, occasionally making zombies is a way we activate the deal 10 on Bolas' Citadel. And sometimes we just have a lot of lands and we want to Scapeshift when we don't have a Dread Presence out. Shame MTG, thanks for the 16 months. Out of Jumpstart, we gained Explore into this deck. And in addition to not having blue mana to play Growth Spiral, Explore is actually much better in this deck than Growth Spiral would be, even if we could cast Growth Spiral, because Explore just giving us an extra land drop means we can clear extra lands off the top of our deck with Bolas' Citadel, whereas Growth Spiral explicitly puts lands from your hand into play. So that distinction's important because it means if we Explore and when we hit a pocket of lands on top of our deck, we can push through that to get to more spells to cast with Citadel. We have Arboreal Grazer as a little bit of anti-aggro at the bottom end of our curve and also acceleration. We've got Bond of Flourishing to gain a little bit of life and help us find one of our 3 key permanents more consistently. And then Agonizing Remorse is a little bit of way to slow down our opponents or punch through their disruption if they have discard spells or counter spells for everything we have going on. Gazby with the 50 months of support. That is a very long time. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop on into some games with this and see how it goes. This is one of the historic decks that's up on my website. Interested to see if it still feels reasonable with the changes today. Is the version with the Explore package obsolete now? I think the version with the Explore package is worse than having the Scapeshift combo, yes. Hey, look. It's exactly what I wanted for Christmas, chat. Hey, show me what you're working with. Ah, yes. The illusion of choice. Feels Magic the Gathering, man. At least I can Maelstrom Pulse this one before they get to activate it. Like, our curve's actually not bad here, right? So I get to go, like, land, pulse this, and then the following turn Citadel with a pretty high life total. So, like, we're actually in a pretty good spot based on what their hand looks like here. I think this deck that we're playing is actually a really good choice based on what we've played on the ladder so far. I think our deck tends to have a pretty good matchup against a lot of these other sweeper-based decks. Our kind of Scapeshift combo kill tends to go bigger than what they're doing a lot of the time. You'll note that I'm holding Swamps in my hand since I already have triple black out. Because Swamps post post-Dread Presence do stuff. Citadel was pretty unlikely to really pop off there. Looking to fade. Oh, they can't Ugin this turn. So if they don't interact with this, we're in a very good spot for next turn. We'll see what their spells are here. Who's got two thumbs is ready to get Teferi Time Raveler? This guy right here. I draw another Golos. Kenrith. That's actually very bad for us because it lets them hit us for an incredible amount of damage, which makes our Citadel much worse, obviously. God, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, Kenrith was easily the best draw on their deck. So if they hadn't drawn Kenrith last turn, we would have been able to cast Dread Presence and then cast Scapeshift here and easily win the game. So if they hadn't drawn exactly Kenrith there, we would have easily won. Needed to fade both Kenrith and a way for them to interact with our Citadel. But don't worry, chat. Magic the Gathering is very carefully balanced, and Kenrith is a buy-a-box card, and I've been assured that the buy-a-box cards are not intended to be constructed playable. They're well balanced, so they won't impact the secondary market too much by being playable. Yeah, like Nexus of Fate. I haven't seen anybody cast Nexus of Fate in Historic, like, all week. So I'm pretty sure that card's just not playable, right? Hey, thanks for the biddy, Cody. I appreciate it. It's definitely not playable. It is, in fact, literally unplayable. I'm so used to Growth Spiral, I get my hopes up every time my opponent casts an Explorer. It does immediately put a land into play. Yep. Because, like, once it finishes resolving and the land is at the battlefield, you're like, oh, they bricked with the Growth Spiral. It's not how it works here. So, Scapeshift for Field of the Dead doesn't do anything until we have 7 lands. Also kind of want to hold this in case we spike a Dread Presence. Good chance they have counterspells post-board here, but I think I'm just supposed to jam this. Get, like, vetoed or stroked here. Gonna have to get through those at some point. Did I board in my Duresses? You know, I didn't. That's probably a mistake. Yeah, this Grazer probably should have been a Duress, which means this could have potentially resolved. It feels bad, man. Yeah, I think I'm definitely mis-sideboarded here. And I can't even really afford to play things out into a sweeper because they've committed to the board, because their sweeper is likely time wipe. So they'll get to pick this back up and generate more value with it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if/when Wilderness Reclamation with Expansion Explosion bleeds over into Historic like it does in Standard. Thanks for the tier 3, all the good nuts. I appreciate the 15 months. Alright. There's a ton of ramp out today. Is just the new normal? Yes. Wizards of the Coast, well, it's not the normal for Historic, Maddie. So, Wizards of the Coast banned both of the archetypes that were good against ramp. Well, they nerfed them. So, Gruul was something that helped keep ramp in check, and they banned Burning Tree Emissary out of Gruul. And Nexus, toxic as it was, also was good against ramp because it went up over the top of ramp. So, the bannings that Wizards has been making in Historic have been pushing the format steadily more and more towards the same issues that Standard has. Only these decks from Standard also get to play Field of the Dead in this format. Yeah, banning Winota also helped keep these ramp decks in check. Winota was very good against decks that just wanted to be linear. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we draw an untapped land next turn, Dread Presence Scapeshift is lethal. Correct. They also printed Ugin and M21, which is the single best card that they could. And we're just dead to that, right? They're gonna haste this, and then I can trophy this, but then we take 4 and are dead. So, likely would have been better off here if my Grazer had been Duress to punch through their thing, but it is what it is. In my mind, I feel like Courser of Crufix was kind of like the beginning of these green cards have too many words on them and are really pushed part of Magic. On the draw, let's draw some lands, huh? I don't think you have to strictly be greedier. Again, I think there are a number of aggressive decks that are fine in this format. Like, I think Gruul's probably still okay. I also think, like, the current ladder that we're experiencing is symptomatic of what you tend to see in new formats, which is a lot of people are playing kind of slower and mid-rangey brews, which makes it easier to prey upon them. So, like, I think in a more established format, the ramp decks that we've been playing against probably get a little bit worse once people stop playing cute things and go back to punching people in the face. Actually, you know what? Treasure Hunt is probably really good against these ramp decks. Like, no joke, that deck was like genuinely more consistent than I expected it to be. Like, I think there's like a real chance that those archetypes just like beat those things up. Aggro can race you on occasion, but like if you're playing against a lot of like what we're playing against right now, the treasure hunt decks are probably hilarious and reasonable. If you haven't seen the treasure hunt deck before, you should take some time after I'm offline today and check out the historic decks on my website. A lot of fantastic things up there. Is this a counterspell? Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Weary Dude. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome back. We will very likely get to treasure hunt sometime next week. I'm gonna be, so like this deck, for instance, that we're playing, God, their last card is a counterspell. Magic is stains, chat. One of my goals is to kind of make sure we get through all the decks on my website with some consistency, so we don't leave things up there like the... This is land number 7. I guess I just go get Field of the Dead, right? Like they have nothing. So, get 7 zombies, get to scry 1. You'll note that I explicitly left my scry lands in my deck, and I did that, or my scry lands, my cycle lands in my deck, and that was on purpose, because it gives me lands that are redraws when I draw them. Yeah, and now we have to hope that like their blue-white control deck doesn't immediately draw a sweeper, which is possible. Interesting that they played this as opposed to making a token. I'm gonna block here because every point of life counts if I draw a Citadel. Work sucks, I know. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Do 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 do. This is a very good draw. This is a very good draw, chat. This doesn't do anything. If I don't sacrifice any lands, do I still get to shuffle my library here? If I sacrifice nothing, do I get to shuffle? Yes, right? Okay. I like how it highlights them even though I can't click on them. That's pretty great. Dang it, Bobby. Oh, I guess I could have made some zombies there. It's the side. They want me to make zombies, chat. Oh, look, and now the client's bugged, so I have to hit view battlefield here. So this is actually the top of my deck. Look at this incredibly release-ready piece of software. Okay, and now this is the top of my deck. I'm at 8 life. Okay, I'll click on that. Okay, and it fixed itself. Alright, so they're dead on board. I get to attack with zombies, then I activate Bolas the Citadel and kill them. Cast Pulse and kill yourself. No, please don't. Let's not. I would have tried to pulse it. Yeah, let's not. Let's not do that. Alright, Duress and Vivien Monsters Advocate in. Arboreal Grazer out. I'd rather have Trophy than Pulse here. It's a little bit cheaper. Giving them a land's usually not too big of a deal. Double Master VIP booster packs are $100 each. But remember, engaging in Magic the Gathering is not gambling. God bless the professor. A single booster pack. Yeah, maybe the product's just not for you, chat. What are you, some kind of little baby minnow? Don't got $100 for a booster pack? Man, fish, glub glub. Glub glub, fish. Let me sell my kidneys real quick. Oh. I foiled multiple modern decks, an EDH deck, and this product isn't for me. Well, you're not the big fish you thought you were, Niv. How did elves do as a dumpster fire? His like got killed by turn 3 Wrath of God again and again and again. And then we also got brutalized by vampires. From his comment section, hey gang, my apologies, but these booster packs are actually selling for more like $115. My bad. Oh god. Oh, it's so good. Double Master's gonna double my mortgage. I almost feel like I need them to make me a list of products that are for me at this point. 'Cause I'm confused which ones those are. I would like to draw some cards. Do-da, do-da. Bum 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 ba da da dum. Jumpstart isn't for you, historic streamer. Yep. After a conversation, your LGS in Canada is charging 150 Canadian per pack. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Start with this and see where we go. So the way against control decks, the way your games usually play out with this deck is you want to generate a ton of card advantage until you eventually just kill them in a single turn. Alright, and now I can cast Scapeshift and they have to counterspell this, right? Or they die. And then, like, even if they counterspell this, untap Sweep Me, I then get to play Bolas' Citadel. Oh, you know what? I should have fetched with this before casting Scapeshift to get 2 more triggers. That was a mistake.
I'm not going to sit this one out. Let's skip to the good part.
This Historic's been fine. I still think Magic, Historic, Standard, whatever you want to say, is pretty much in a spot where the competitiveness of the average brew is at an all-time low. However, there are still a number of decks that can be fine in this format. So we're going to just kill them with all natural Dread Presence triggers here, I think. We'll fetch with this, deal 4 more, get to attack, etc. Like I said, I know we had a little bit of bad beats against the first deck we played in this set, but I actually think this deck that we're playing tends to have a good matchup against the sweeper decks like what that person was playing, that were beating up the elf deck we played before. Wonder if they're aggressive or not. Diva was playing a blue-red aggro deck with Wellspring as the companion for a little bit. Hey, thanks for the 27 months, Cajun guy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, looks like an aggro champion. Aggro companion. Been playing too much Runeterra. I think I actually put this into play tapped here, and then I can go untapped Cemetery on 2, explore tapped Field of the Dead. Yeah, Embercleave doesn't rotate till 2020. 2022, 2021, 2021, right? Well, I don't have lands, but at least we've got plenty of blockers, huh? Alright, just like want to draw lands for the rest of the game here. Actually, I just get to Scapeshift next turn, right? Yeah, Young Pyromancer's in the format now, Maddie. Do I just do this? I think I just do this, right? Do I? I could wait a turn. I'm gonna wait a turn. Yeah, Explore Dryad has some upside. I mean, I have a ton of swamps in my deck, Indy. I have 4 Overgrown Tombs, and then, like, I have, like, 15 total swamps in my deck, I think. If I recall correctly. Deck of the day. Yeah, the Abzan deck we played to start was very good. This is getting a little greedy. If they draw a Lightning Strike and kill my Dread Presence, these are both bricks. But should Pulse the Mountains. Yeah, exactly. Found the line. Yeah, I should probably just Scapeshift there. So just Scapeshift for 2 turns in a row. Didn't matter. Alright, against Aggro, we get to board in a bunch of cheap removal. Oh, they're not playing Cleave, right? Because if they have Wellspring as a companion, they can't have Cleave. It's good to know. Citadel comes out in the aggro matchup. You leave in Scapeshift still. Bring in a bunch of spot removal. Cut the discard spells. Easy in, easy out. Pulse the Mountains is the cube April line. Yep. Watch them boarding Cleaves. Opponent's almost mythic. They're like at the very top of Diamond tier. They boarded out of their companion. They could have Cleave in their deck. According to CBS News, the National Association of Police Organizations endorsed Donald Trump. Oh, that's really weird. I always find it strange when fascists endorse a fascist, right? No? No, just me? So, do I dread presence because I have another one? This lets them like untap and double stomp it, but if they do that, they don't do much for their turn. I think I'm supposed to play this here, since I have a second one, just like, hey, look at distraction. Dan Alosi, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Lightning Strike's a pretty worst case scenario. Go ahead and just draw a card here. Can't currently cast Scapeshift, but casting Scapeshift doesn't really accomplish anything at the moment either, so it's like not a big deal. Sure. It's been fine, Ninja. Some good, some bad. Alright, so untapped green means we can make a bunch of zombies. That's very good. They're a little bit bigger than I was expecting their deck to be. Probably going to board Maelstrom Pulse back in for the third game. Maybe cut Arboreal Grazer. I think I'm going to get a touch more. Oh, I have my pulses in still. Maybe I want Thrashing Brontodon then. Yeah, let's try this. I'm doing all right, man. State of the world and all. Because my opponent's not a low-to-the-ground aggro deck, bombs. If you listen to the words I just said and look at the deck that my opponent's playing, their deck goes up a little bit bigger and has a lot of card advantage in it. Also on the play, we can afford to have a little bit more 3-drops in our deck. Yeah, they're more like a medium-sized red deck than a mono red aggro deck. Come on now, chat. You can't expect people to listen to the words I say before they ask questions. We hit a third land on 3, someone marked the calendar. It's pretty impressive. It's even the second green source we need. Pyromancer feels like a weird inclusion in their deck. Yeah, Frenzy is a sweet card. I miss Frenzy Red compared to, like, the nonsense that Embercleave is. You can always find my favorite decks each day tagged on my website here. Okay. Build your own Valakut, chat. Build your own Valakut. I mean, you're not the target. So here's the problem into the Frozen Sky, and this is the biggest issue with Jumpstart, is there's a lot of people who are saying they're not enjoying Jumpstart and they don't like the idea of it, and that's because they're not the target audience of it. Magic has a lot of different game modes that cater to a lot of different people, and the issue with Arena and what they've done is Arena has forced a bunch of people that have no desire to play something like Jumpstart into playing it so they can get cards to play the constructed format they actually want to play. A fundamental problem with Wizards of the Coast that they don't seem to get, that they keep repeating with Arena, is that they keep trying to force people to play Magic in ways that Wizards thinks is best, as opposed to just saying, here's a bunch of cards, here's a great game engine, play Magic how you enjoy playing Magic with these cards. They keep trying to pigeonhole everybody into these same little silos and funnels or whatever you want to call it, and it just doesn't work that way. Like, that's not why Magic is good, and it's not why Magic has survived for as long as it's survived. I'm holding on to my untapped land for now. I don't know what that is, Matt. I think they want to force players to play Jumpstarts. There's a bigger queue of players. Maybe they're still fucking stupid if that's their thing. You know what would be a good way to make sure there's a queue of players? Make it accessible and make people want to play it. Don't force people to play your format that don't want to play it. Instead, make your format fun and cheap enough that people who want to play it can actually play it. That's how it should work. It should be a phantom event and it should be free. That's how it should work. It should be a phantom event and it should be free. What's phantom? It means you don't keep the cards you pick. Yeah, or make it free for some people and let other people who want to keep the cards pay to keep the cards. There's no reason you can't do both. They have Craterhoof Behemoth in their deck. Alright, well, let's get rid of that one, I guess. Yeah, the Abzian deck, the green-black veto deck was really good. Easy deck of the day material. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. The fact that my opponent minus board instead of plussing to bolt my thing here could mean we have a chance if we're a little bit lucky. With the right hits here, we can still win this game, because my opponent elected to -4 rather than +8. Do you consider playing discard spells so you can get Ugin out of their hand? Yeah. Alright, with good beats, we can kill them next turn. We are taking 8 down to 12, so it's not super likely, but with a little bit of good luck, we can win this game.
Nature's true power.
I will
You couldn't script it better than that. You literally just couldn't, like, if I was stacking the decks to make it as just, like, swiggy obnoxious as possible, just, like, could not write a better script than that. Just, whew. This is probably a Duress matchup. We're gonna, like, break on our Duresses, and then they're gonna top deck what we wanted the Duress in the first place, but I think that's the shot. I think I'm holding on to this. There's a chance we might cycle it. Depending on what we draw. We did not draw land, so we'll play it out now. We'll wait to crack this, because if we draw a Dread Presence, cracking it could draw a card down the line. It also taps for mana as is because of Dryad. I'm saying this for my benefit just as much as I'm saying it for chat's. Don't Maelstrom Pulse their Dryad, you'll be sad. Just for as much as... I'm saying that for as much as my benefit as yours at home as well. Nice, Brady. Alright, I mean, if we hit an untapped land, this Citadel could do a bunch of stuff next turn. Alright, 28 land deck got there. So, I think we're just shooting their face here, right? Because I want to cast the card that's on top of my deck right now. I'm going to draw now because I don't want that land that's on top. Duress you. Out of land drops. Alright, if they brick, we kill them. Those look like bricks. So they're dead. Does Legends of Runeterra have decks that feel like Red Black Bridge? Yeah, there's a ton of great mid-range decks in Runeterra. You should check the Runeterra page on my website. There's a ton of fantastic examples up there. Runeterra supports aggro, combo, control, and mid-range all very well right now in their current format. Yeah, it's has a lot of parallels to Dino Frenzy Hippity. Yeah, I mean that was our deck doing the thing, right? Like that was why the deck is green-black Citadel. And like, if we would have found a Scapeshift on top, we would have killed them there, but we didn't, so now we get to kill them the following turn. They're not killing us here. We're gonna get a bunch of lands that kill them. Do I have 10 lands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I think we've gotten a little bit unfortunate against these other ramp decks so far. I think this deck's matchup against these other ramp decks tends to be very reasonable. Because of this, our combo kills them on the spot. I have another land drop. I do have another land drop. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I wasn't tapping all of my lands. So I don't need more mana because they're dead. Yeah, I think Oracle Maldai is just too slow. You're already kind of slow and clunky. And Dryad is better against the aggressive decks, like has a reasonable body. In addition to having better synergy with what's it called, I don't think you have room for both. Show me all secrets. Come on, just take the Teferi. He's annoying. Successful Tiny Bones deck. No, Tiny Bones is not a competitive card. In large part because the best discard spell in Historic doesn't work with Tiny Bones. That's Agonizing Remorse, for anybody that's wondering what card that is. Mono black with Obliterator and Aetherborn. I don't think there's anything competitive with those cards, unfortunately, Draken. Obliterator's just not a card that can really be competitive in a world where Ramp is king. Alright, so hoping to draw a Swamp next turn. Okay. I think we just want to shoot her down. I think that's too slow and clunky, Bright Star. It's too many moving pieces. Yeah, I've seen some Obliterators fight spell variants, and they're neat synergies, but they're just, like, overall not particularly competitive. They keep pausing. They have another Aether Gust in their hand. If they do, we're probably just dead. Oh. Oh. One could argue I was a master at beating, chat. One could certainly make the argument that we were quite masterful at it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a card. Oh, you know what? I have this other Scapeshift in my hand. I should have fetched some more regular swamps here. I should have fetched some more regular swamps here. Because now I can't Scapeshift and keep green mana when I sack all my lands. Which is unfortunate. So I probably want to keep one of these then. How many swamps are in my deck still? I have 2 swamps in my bin, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in play. Stupid timer. I have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 total. So I should have 5. Nailed it. That's nice. Got to really do the thing. This deck's super reasonable. I'm glad this one is still good. This is one of my It's one of the ones I've liked that's up on the site. If you're looking for a reasonable combo deck in the format, I think this is a decent one for sure. Did something happen to the Discord server? Nope, Ostin. You don't currently have a sub icon next to your name, so maybe you're sub lapsed and you are kicked out. If you are unsubscribed from the channel for, I think it's 7 days, you get booted from the Discord server automatically. I think Black-White Vampires, Latrana. I think Black-White Vampires, yeah, that would be fine. Black-White Vampire is one of the decks up on my site, and I think that Drana is an upgrade to it potentially. Would you like to do that for your tier 3? Thanks for the prime, Hostin. Perfect. Can definitely do that. I'll get that added after I'm done today. Man, this hand really worked out, huh? Small thing, but you should scry before drawing. Not strictly true. So I actually didn't have, so actually let's talk about that, because again, people that commit these always do this, never do this things to memory are often hurting themselves in games like Magic. So that turn there, where I was drawing and then scrying, I didn't have any mana or land drops left over, which meant it basically didn't matter, but 2, if my opponent had like discard spells in their deck, potentially leaving a good spell on top of my deck is better than having it in my hand in an instant like that. And again, if your goal is to question my play, instead of saying, hey, Jeff, should you do this other thing? Instead say, hey, Jeff, you should do this other thing because... And help me understand why you think I should take a different line.
Sorry I'm late.
How does this deck felt? Very reasonable, comic. I like this archetype a lot. Untapped land. Need to draw an untapped land in my 28 land deck. Draw another 6-drop. Feels, Magic, the Gathering, man. And now we'll draw the land and they'll have a 3-mana counter spell up. Well, you know. Slow and steady. If they don't kill this, we've got 3 must-counter spells in our hand, which is nice.
This isn't a fight you can win. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Was pushing it over the top to be more competitive. No, I think this deck was very competitive before Jumpstart as well. I do not think Jumpstart meaningfully changed this format particularly much. I think it fleshed out a couple of things around the edges. But I think anything that was reasonable or not reasonable beforehand is probably still in a similar... Bless America! My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing... Bum, 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 bum. Yes, banning Nexus of Fate changed the format more meaningfully than anything Jumpstart did. Is this the last deck of today? I might do a Rune Terror deck after this, but I think this is definitely the last Magic deck. Fizz decks. I love Fizz decks. Alright, this is the part where you kill my Dread Presence in response. Really? Alright. We're actually kind of ahead, huh?
Only time will tell.
I have a thing that I can reference again, Draken. If you want to DM me, I can check later. Fuck me. God bless America. These fucking cards. At some point, it's the muscle memory stuff, right? It's just like, it's optimal to cast my cantrip before I attack, because that's just, generally speaking, when there's not prison cards involved, the optimal way to do it. I hate those cards so much. They just remove so much of Magic that I love about the game. I just cannot wait for rotation in the fall so we don't have a format where you just, like, don't have to experience these pieces of garbage designs. They're so awful. Whoever approved these prison cards, and then whoever has let them remain legal in every format, I hope they get fired. I genuinely do. They should not be creating games. They are not good at it. Hey, thanks for the support, Percy. I appreciate that. Welcome. Make that right after we're done today. Like, yeah, like, symmetrical prison cards are bad enough. Like, the not symmetrical prison cards are so offensive. Like, crap like Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge, at least they're symmetrical. Never mind the magic happening where we've had 3 6-drops, we've been stuck on 5 lands in our 28 land deck. Alright, it's got to fade discard spells and counter spells here, which is pretty unlikely. I think it took us long enough to get to that land. These Citadels aren't going to get down. I mean, they knew about both of our Citadels, right? Yeah, they knew about both of them. Because they played another discard spell and took our Scapeshift earlier. The best design cards add decisions for players, not remove them. Big agree. Big agree. Let's get rid of that one, huh? Oh, it drew the Maelstrom Pulse. What a tilt. What a tilt. Getting to see Citadel do its thing here.
How long do you want to wait for me?
Okay. Play Grazer in the other land? No? Y'all gonna get Othakayed? I want to wrap up with some Runeterra. I just don't. Like, playing against Teferi it just, takes my will to live and just sucks it right out of me. I think this deck is fine. I don't think I'd make any changes after that set just to have a wrap up. I just my desire to continue to play Magic has been sapped out for the day. Yeah, I think Explore was a great addition. We saw some of the sweet things that could happen there. Yeah, I think the mix is fine. Alright, let's play some Runeterra.